In this video, I'm going to go over the #1 muscle to release to fix your hip pain. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Dr. Rowe coming to you from SpineCare in St. Joseph, Michigan. So in this video, I'm going to go over what I like to call the hip pain muscle, which are the 3 muscles that make up the glutes. The glutes are by far the most important muscles to focus on if you're dealing with hip pain, because when these muscles become tight and weak, they can lead to pains across the lower back, into the hip, even down the leg. To make getting relief easy, I'm going to break the video up into 2 separate parts. In the first part, we're going to focus on getting quick relief by lengthening or releasing those tight muscles. In the second part, we're going to focus on getting long-lasting relief by strengthening them. Each part works differently. To get the best results, go through all the exercises and use what gives you the most relief. With that being said, let's get started. So if you're dealing with a lot of hip pain right now, this is where I would start. I call this the 3-point glute release. It's 3 separate movements that you can do in bed or on a floor. Just lie flat on your back like this. The first movement, we're going to have our legs together, knees bent. Take your hands and cup around your knees. What you want to do is slowly pull your knees towards your chest until you feel a really good stretch forming across the buttocks and your hips. What I like to do is feel that stretch over my hips, and then what I'm going to do is slowly pull my knees further until I feel that stretch work from my hips into my lower back. At that point, I hold this and now slowly swing my knees from side to side, focusing on moving through my hips as much as I can. I like to do this for about 15 to 20 seconds, relax, and then repeat it a couple more times. The nice thing is with this movement, you're probably going to find that a certain position or movement just offers the most relief, like it's really attacking muscle tightness. For me, it's swinging towards my left. At that point, I just keep swinging and building into that movement over and over again until everything is nice and loose, or I'm not getting any more improvement. So the next movement is called the corkscrew, and it's a personal favorite for many because it puts a lot of motion into your lower back, and you might get a satisfying self-pop, crack, or release. So for this movement, I always like to target the side that has the most pain or tightness. Let's say it's our left side. What we're going to do is straighten the other leg like this, while the painful side's knee stays at 90 degrees, knee up towards the ceiling. Let's take the hand on the other side and just grab right on the outside of that bent knee. Now slowly pull that knee across your body. As you do this, you're going to feel a really good stretch form on the outside of your thigh that works to the outside of your hip. Really focus on feeling it on the outside of your hip. Once you feel that, you're going to hold this for 20 to 30 seconds. You're going to relax it, and then you're going to repeat this 3 to 5 times. Each repetition, just build into it a little bit more. So with this one too, if you would like to get a little bit deeper of a stretch, focus on getting that stretch into your hip and then take it a little bit further until you get it in the lower back. And again, that might give you that release that you're looking for, but don't try to force it. And for good measure, I would switch to the other side and throw a couple repetitions in just to help keep everything nice and loose. So for the last movement, we're going to do what is called knee to the opposite shoulder. Again, I like to focus on the side that has the most pain or tightness. This time around, let's say it's our right side. We're going to have that knee bent at 90 degrees, straight up towards the ceiling, other leg goes straight. What you're going to do is take your hands and cup around that bent knee and pull that knee across your body to the other side shoulder. So right knee towards your left shoulder and vice versa. As you do this, the stretch is going to be felt a little bit differently. This time around, I feel it more towards the bottom of my cheek, towards the sit bone area. So really focus on feeling it there. Again, hold this comfortably for 20 to 30 seconds. You're going to release it and then repeat this 3 to 5 times. And just remember though, whatever you do on one side, always do on the other to help keep everything in balance. Here's a really good muscle release that we can do seated. With this one, I always like to start with the most tight or painful side first. Let's say that's our right hip. You're going to take that side's ankle and place over your other side's knee. So when you look down, it should look like a figure 4. If you have a lot of difficulty getting into this position, to make it a little bit easier, straighten the other leg out, put your ankle over the other side's shin. That way you can grab your pant leg or in front of the shin and slide it into position. So from here, I always start with a light stretch to loosen up the glutes. So let's take our hands and I'm going to just cup right around my knee. What I'm going to do is pull this knee across my body towards the other side shoulder. So my right knee towards my left shoulder. As you do this, you're going to feel a really good stretch form on the outside of your thigh that works towards your hip. Once you feel it across the buttocks, you're going to hold this for 20 to 30 seconds. And during that time period, just do nice, slow, controlled breathing. Let out as much tension as you can. You're going to release it, take a breather, and then repeat this 3 to 5 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. At this point, the glutes should start to loosen up, and now we can focus on a deeper release. So what I'm going to do now is take this bent knee and press it down towards the floor as much as I can, but I'm not going to use my hands. Instead, I'm going to use my leg and hip strength. The more that you press down, the more that you're going to feel a deep activation into the buttocks across the hips. Let's hold this comfortably for 5 seconds. You're going to release it and then repeat this 5 to 10 times. Afterwards, see how you feel. If it's really helping out, you're more than welcome to throw in another set or 2. But if you would like to take this one to the next level, there's a couple more movements that you can do to get a deeper stretch and also target some more muscles. The first movement is very straightforward. We're just going to press our knee downward, activate the glutes, hold that, and now keeping our back nice and straight, you're just going to lower your chest towards the floor, so lean forward. But do this one slowly because it's going to deepen that stretch pretty quickly. So give that one a try. You can also do a rotating or twisting movement. So let's press our knee downward, hold that, and now slowly twist or turn towards the other side. So I'm going towards my left. This time around, you're going to feel it a little bit more in the lower back that works towards the belt line into the hip. You can also do a leaning motion. So let's press our knee down, hold that, and just lean our body towards the other side. This time around, I feel it a little bit more across my ribs into the lower back, finally towards the hip. But go through all of these movements. You may find that one just helps you out a little bit more. At that point, throw more repetitions in until everything is nice and loose, or you're not getting any more improvement. Just remember though, whatever you do on one side, always do on the other to help keep everything in balance. In the second part, we're going to focus on getting long-lasting relief by strengthening the glutes. Here's a really good strengthening exercise that we can do daily in bed or on a floor. Let's break this one down. We're going to lie on our side with the most painful side facing the ceiling. So in this case, I'm going to demonstrate what to do if you have a lot of right-sided hip pain. I just like to make sure that my body is nice and straight, and let's support our head with our hand just like this. So this top leg we're going to keep straight, and we're going to raise our foot upward towards the ceiling as much as we can. The more that you raise that foot upward, the more that you're going to feel a deep activation in your thigh that works towards the hip. Once you feel it in the hip, you're going to hold this comfortably for 3 to 5 seconds, release it, and slowly lower your leg back down. But resist your leg weight going down and up. That way we target the muscles in both directions. I like to do this about 5 to 10 times. And with each repetition, I just try to build into it a little bit more. Afterwards, see how you feel. If it feels like you have a little bit more energy, always challenge yourself by throwing in another set or 2. But if you would like to take this one to the next level and make it more challenging, this is what we can do. The first thing is, instead of keeping your leg in line with your body, slowly just bring it forward like this and then raise it up. You're going to notice that it hits the muscles a little bit differently. So give that a try, working all the way forward as much as you can, and you can also bring your leg backward. If you notice any of those positions just feel like they're a little bit more weak, achy, or tight, at that point I treat it like a weak link and I keep building into that over and over again until it feels like I got a really good workout. Another movement that you can do is add in some rotation. That is turning the foot inward and outward like this. So if you have a lot of hip arthritis, give this one a try. It can also increase your flexibility. So what I like to do is start off with my leg in line with my body, but I turn my foot outward as much as I can until I feel light activation around my hip. What I do at that point is now raise my foot upward towards the ceiling. Again, hits the muscles a little bit differently. Give that a try, turning your foot outward and also inward like this. You can also do it in different positions if you really want to take it to the next level. Just focus on any movement or position that feels like it's a little bit more weak, and at that point just keep building into it over and over again. The thing is though, whatever you do on one side, always do on the other to help keep everything imbalance. So here's another good strengthening exercise that you can do in bed or on a floor. The great part about this exercise is it will help target our glutes, but also help strengthen some overlooked muscles that are huge instigators of hip pain, including the hip flexors on the front of our thighs and our deep core muscles. So let's start lying flat on our back just like this. We're going to put our feet together and now slowly press our heels downward into the bed or the floor until we feel a light activation around our hips. We're going to hold this and now press or wing our knees downward towards the floor as much as we can until we feel a deep stretch form on the inner part of our thighs, working towards our groin into the hips. Once we feel it in the hips, let's hold this and take our hands, put them off to our side for support. Now slowly press or lift your hips upward towards the ceiling until your body roughly is in a straight line from your knees to your hips to your shoulders. If you're unable to get into this position, do the best you can, but you should feel a ton of muscles start to fire across the core, lower back, butt, and legs, but really focus on feeling it around your hips. Once you do, hold this comfortably for 3 to 5 seconds. You're going to relax, take a breather. On the next repetition, try to build into it a little bit more for 5 to 10 repetitions. Afterwards, see how you feel. If it feels like you have a little bit more energy, always challenge yourself by throwing in another set or 2. If the exercises help, please support the channel by giving this video a like and maybe subscribing too. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.